Namaste, gods, goddesses, and emissaries of light. This is Dr. Shreya Tayen. If you're new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to hit the notification bell so you can be updated on my latest and my current videos. Divine Feminines. Where should I even start? The energy that is going on in the collective right now is very heavy. A lot of you are trying to carry both your divine masculine and your load at the same time. And sorry, this dynamic wasn't set up that way. Each of us have to do our own parts. And I'm sensing that a lot of your masculines, some of them haven't stepped into their divinity yet, are playing hardball. They're really giving you a hard time. And so I channeled, and I am channeling this message for you to help you, because you're on your last leg standing. You're looking for your next win to come. And if you are, special delivery for you. Some of you have had the wind completely knocked out of your cells. And I would consider what you're experiencing like a spiritual shipwreck. Some of you don't even know what direction in which you're going to go or which way you're going to turn. And source energy told me to tell you it's because you're not listening. You're not listening first, foremost to source. And secondly, you're not listening to your own intuition, because it's into yourself that you listen. You don't listen outside of yourself. What me and these other readers are for are guiding posts. We're not here to dictate and run your life for you. You are empowered to make your own decisions here. And so let me go ahead and get into the reading, because there's a lot of information that I have to cover, a lot of ground I have to cover, and I don't want to take up much time in the intro. All right. Okay. For those of you that know how I do it, I'm going to go ahead and call in all 6 elements. Call in air, fire, water, earth, spirit, and ether. And I also call upon the highest of the highest of the high, which is Yod-Heh Vah-Heh, to be able to give me the information that is necessary in all times, all timelines, all universes, parallel universes, dimensions, subdimensions, past, present, and future, all directions, time, and space. And so it is. I want to also mention that there's been 2 more people that have come into union since I've last spoken to you, that I've spoken to yesterday, which is a total of 4, myself included, which will be 5 with me and my divine masculine yesterday. But he's not ready yet. So therefore, when you know better, you do better. Let's talk about wisdom. First and foremost, wisdom is coming to you because you're in this cycle right now where you need to know that wisdom comes after discernment, understanding, knowledge, because what's knowledge is wisdom, discernment, and then understanding, in that order. Knowledge comes before wisdom. And all knowledge is applied wisdom in the first place, or wisdom is applied knowledge. Okay? With that being said, I know for a very fact that for a large portion of you, a group of you, that because you are where you are on your spiritual journey, you think that your divine masculine should be there too. Because that's your twin, and you mirror each other. Well, I'm here to tell you you're sadly mistaken, and that's rarely the case. We, as the feminine energy, spiritually evolve a lot faster. The divine masculines truly are taking their time because they are more drawn, enticed by the 3D plane of existence because it's easy. Spiritual work is not easy. I'm not going to say it's hard, but it's not easy neither. And so therefore, they don't have the wisdom that you have. And in your wisdom, Source is calling you forward to apply it. Use it in your situation, your particular situation with dealing with your twin flame. You can no longer step off of your throne to come down to your twin's level. You have to stay in high vibrations in order for this person's vibration to be raised up to meet you. Wisdom comes without force. So what Source Energy is telling you at this moment, do not force your wisdom upon your divine masculine. If he don't know anything about a twin flame union, don't try to force him to know about it. Just know that there is a natural ebb and flow for all things. And when he's ready or she's ready, it will happen in divine timing. This type of thinking requires balance. You're not being balanced because if you were, you wouldn't be feeling overwhelmed. When there's chaos or discord that shows up in our life, we feel out of sorts. We feel imbalanced because we're not balanced. And so this card is coming on your reading to let you know that you need to bring balance where there's chaos, harmony where there's discord. And you start with the divine masculine and the divine feminine within, the yin and the yang, by bringing the two together and harmonizing them and making them one. You will never get 3D union if you do not have union within. Some of you are so out of balance that you have been chasing after your divine masculine in hopes that if you chase him enough, he'll finally give in. He'll finally start to see you for who you are and your worth. And he'll start to love you the same way that you love him because you have given him so much love that it has to have an effect on him. And that's not necessarily true. See, a person can only love you from their own level of what they know that love is. And if he hasn't come to love himself, then how can he come to love you? So, Source Energy is asking you to have a balanced view and not to impose your will upon the other person. Which brings me to the next card, talking about imposing your will. Well, it's obvious not to impose your will upon the other person, but also you want to make sure that you are bringing your will in harmony with God's will. That you and God or Source Creator's will is one. That you are not giving your willpower away and allowing for the divine masculine to dictate the outcome of your happiness or your future. Well, I'll be happy once me and my DM get back together. Or I'll be able to do this once I be back in union with my DM. When I was the happiest person that I ever was when I was with my DM. Bingo. You, as in YOU, alone, were happier when you were with your DM because your happy state and who you were is what pulled him in, you see. He was drawn to that. Why do you think that the divine masculines are drawn to these karmics? It's not because they're sitting up here giving them the world and catering to them. It's not only that. It is because the relationship, some of them, it seems easy. And then for a lot of them, they're just hard-headed. And they love learning love learning lessons, which is not a part of this reading, but it's the truth. Your will is also connected and tied into your integrity, your personal integrity for self. Don't give your will away. You know, when I mention the word will, Sometimes it can kind of come off as an old cliche, can it? But I want you to really think about this. I want to impress this upon your mind. When you are truly living out your will, that is when you're truly in your power. Because then, as you are expressing your will, you are allowing for yourself to be in the natural ebb and flow of life. There are some of you that have even put spells on your divine masculine as a divine feminine because you didn't know any better. I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Because casting a spell upon your twin, not only are you imposing your will upon them, but you're backfiring the spell upon yourself. So let me give you an example. If you do a spell to bind your twin to you, or to dominate your twin, or to return your ex back to you, who happens to be, again, your twin, all you're doing is putting all those spells upon yourself because you're one soul. One soul in two different bodies. And this is the reason why some of you are like, I cannot believe he's my twin. Because he's working every shadow side that's a good thing. Be happy that you're not the dark twin. Be happy that you're not the dark feminine. And that you're the light feminine. And he's the dark masculine. Be happy. That's something that you should applaud yourself for. Think about it. If you're twins, somebody have to be the dark and somebody have to be the light. Aren't you glad it's not you? So therefore, for those that know much, much is required. You see. There is a scripture at Jeremiah 29:11 in the Bible, in the Old Testament. God says, for I know the plans that I have for you to be happy, for you to be joyous. How can you do that when you keep on giving away your willpower to someone else to dictate whether you're going to be happy or not? Because they choose to show up or choose not to. The next card you have is Faith. Do you see her face? Does it look like she have any concern or worry or discontent on her face? If you look at her face, it is written all over her face that she can even sleep through a storm and be unbothered. Storms of life are just raging in your life right now. I mean, even if the only problem or issue that exists at this time is your separation with your twin, that is enough to have turned a lot of you guys' life upside down, inside and out. But if you look at her, she has faith. Having faith is not knowing the outcome, not knowing the how, but knowing the why. God has instilled into you these desires in your heart, not because he's cruel, but because our Creator is benevolent and she wants to fulfill it, because God is both masculine and feminine, mother and father, nurturer and provider. So with having this deeper knowledge and understanding, that should give you even more so of a reason to have faith. Faith is the biggest F word, isn't it? I mean, it is the biggest F word there is. How many times have someone come to you when you've had the most biggest, difficult, complex situation or problem and told you that you needed to have faith? And they said it's so simple, so nonchalant, and it pissed you off? because you already knew that before they came to you in the first place. And the fact that they had to confirm it just made you even more convicted by the fact that you needed to possess more faith. Because you already knew you lacked it. Because if you had all the faith in the world, you would not have any doubt. You see, you would not have any fear about the outcome, because love and fear cannot cohabitate in the same space. The two cannot be there. They're polar opposites. One will wash the other one out. If you have faith, then why worry? And if you worry, you don't have faith. You see, faith is knowing that beyond a shadow of a doubt of what you see on a physical plane, what you desire is going to come about. You don't need to know how it's going to come about. You don't need to know why, or you don't need to know every detail all the way down to when. You just need to know why. Why? Because you were called for this. Because you were DNA coded for this. Because you incarnated for this very reason. This is your sole purpose. Sole purpose is beyond a life purpose. Okay? There are a lot of people that were born to do things that they never accomplished and they never did. And they died doing something else. But your sole purpose, your soul is dragging you along throughout situations, circumstances, and events, no matter whatever comes your way, to bring you to this event. It's fated. You cannot escape it. It will happen, but just not on your timeline. Not when you expect it to happen. It's not a matter of fact of if. It's only a matter of when. So you have power. Oh, okay. You got power? For most of you, you don't. And so this card is asking you to step into your true authentic power. Because you have given your power away to your divine masculine. Tell me, how in the hell can someone control you that you're in a long distance or a distant relationship with? And then ask yourself another question. In this world of technology, how can you be in distance and separation when there is so many attempts and so many electronics to connect us? Source is impressing this upon your mind. I was in connection and direct communication more with my divine masculine when his behind was all the way over in Ghana, Africa, than I am here today. He's only 5 states away in the United States. And I talked to him less than when I did when it cost thousands and thousands of dollars to talk to him when he was far away. I asked myself why. I did last night. These are real questions that you need to ask yourself, because no one deserves to have that much power over you. Take back your power. This is why this card is showing up. You need to take back your power in the relationship because you've given it all away. That's why you're feeling depleted. That's why you're feeling at a low ebb. That's why you're confused and have no sense of direction, because you didn't gave DM all the power and he don't know what to do with it. And he's mishandling the power that was given to him. So take it back. There's no coincidence that the boundary card is next to the power card. First and foremost, activate the divine masculine that is within you, that will come up and show out to protect you and to set these boundaries and draw the line in the sand and say, DM, do not cross this. You're in a third party relationship. Stay your ass right there. Don't entertain it for not a second, because the moment that you do that, you step off of your throne. You step out of your divinity. Because that's not really what you want. So you have to teach people how to treat you. If that's not what you want, don't entertain it, not even for a second. If you even entertain it for a second, that's way too long. Let me talk to you like a doctor. When you get influenza, the flu, you are told by your doctor to only drink liquids. And you honor that. Why do you honor that? Because you don't bring anything else into the body that your body cannot handle. You don't bring spicy, oily, greasy foods into the system because the system will reject it. You will vomit it out of you. Some of you will diarrhea it out of you. So therefore, you honor your body and you do not take on foods that will not allow for you to go through convalescence and heal. The same thing is being required of you at this now moment from Source. Do not take on more than what you can handle with this union. If your divine masculine is too heavy for you to digest, figuratively and metaphorically speaking, don't take him on. Because you're not allowing yourself the healing space and the right mental mind frame to function and to think and to exist and have your being. There's healing that needs to be done. And as long as you allow for them to take without giving, there is an unequal in the giving and receiving, and it becomes an imbalance. And so therefore you need to set these boundaries, because guess what? No longer can DM come and feast at your table and not bring anything to the table. That stops today. I don't care how much you love him. Love yourself first. That's what this journey is about. Self-love first. It's not about lowering who you are and depleting who you are so you can become nothing and fade into the background. Why Mr. DM becomes everything. A picture is not a picture without the background and the foreground. Do you see what I'm saying? It's time for you to get serious about you. Let the divine masculine that is within you get serious about you. Stop looking for the divine masculine on the outside, but tap into the divine masculine within you that is serious about you, and it will come to snatch someone's face off for you. That's the one you look for. That's the one you tap into, because I guarantee you, once you tap into that power like I have, Mr. DM on the outside, when he comes with that nonsense, you will shut it down as quick as he throw it to you. He won't even have a chance to catch it back, because you are no longer entertaining that, because you have withdrawn your energy to something that's of a higher perspective. Somebody has to take the high road in this, because if not, you're going to continue to get hurt and it's going to become detrimental to you. Step into your own sovereignty. You are a queen. A queen resides over her queendom. You see, you can't reside over your queendom because you're off your throne looking for your king who has abandoned his kingdom. When a king steps off of his throne, guess what happens? He gets replaced. Stepping into your sovereignty is knowing your divinity and your power over the situation, knowing that your attention is alone. If you had set the attention tomorrow for your divine masculine to be knocking at your door, that's how powerful you are. You can will that and it will be. That's just how powerful you are. But because you are not that strong in your convictions yet, you have not raised yourself up to that level of existence and awareness. Hey, you forfeit the right to have what you want. You have not because you ask not. God didn't make you a beggar. You don't have to beg and plead for the divine masculine in you to be in union. You say, I am in union with my divine masculine. This love is an eternal love, unshaken, unbreaking. So it is. Move with that power. Step with that power. See how things start turning around for you. I know what I'm talking about. I've had 3 physical reunions with my baby. And if I wanted to have a union with him tomorrow, I would. But guess what? He's not where he needs to be spiritually. I know what I deserve. And I do not deserve anything less than what I've worked for. I worked hard to get to where I am spiritually. And he has to rise where I am. A queen never steps off of her throne. Assume your position, divine feminine. You are a queen. Act as such. We have release. Well, you need to release your divine masculine. He's not even acting like a divine masculine. He's acting like a masculine. He's acting like a karmic partner right now. What do you do when you have karmic cycles? You learn from it, and after you learn from it, you entertain it no more. To continue to entertain the same energy is to draw you back into the same cycles and the karmic lessons, and they keep repeating on the same loop. Get off the loop. We have the new moon in Libra for a reason. Not only have we had new moon in Libra once, but this is twice. So the universe is saying, divine feminines, you didn't purge it all the first time. You got to purge it again. Purge out everything, every situation, scenario, person, place, thing that does not serve you, including the divine masculine. Let him rise to your level. Know your power. Know your divinity within you and who you are. What you think about, you can bring about. But not for 1 second do you need to entertain this anymore, because this has weighed you down so much. It's unnecessary for you to be at this low ebb where you are. It's unnecessary for you to feel like life has no zest, because the excitement and the love and the happiness that it could be is not that reality, because you're not within proximity, or this person is not physically next to you. That's absurd. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. You are so powerful that you don't need any love outside of yourself. You are all the love that it is. You are the container of love. You are the epitome of love. And you have to know that. You have to believe that. You have to walk in that energy. Because if you don't believe it, divine masculine sure in the hell is not going to believe it neither. And so therefore, he's not going to want to come back to you, because you're sending out the vibration of lack of love. And you're going to just be, if you do come into union, the blind leading the blind, because you're not going to be in a vibrational alignment, and you're going to be back separated again. So at this moment, take out the time and do the work that is necessary that you need to do in order for you to raise your vibration, get in alignment to where you need to be. Release what no longer serves you. Don't force the relationship. Stop being overwhelmed about when it's going to come. Take back your willpower. Step into your true authentic power. Have faith that this is going to come about. Make your will and God's will one. Stop giving into extremes in what you see, because that is what's going to keep you stuck. You'll remain that way. Your eyes and your ears will deceive you. Stop looking at what you see on the outside and start listening to that inside voice. Stop going to these different reader channels that are confusing you. A reader should not confuse you. The readings are here to give you clarity. And so take even what I tell you, and you go into your own self, within your own self, in your own divinity, and you check it against it. Because only you have all the answers. I'm only here to guide you, not for you to form a dependency upon me, no matter how good I am, no matter how tapped in, tuned in, and connected I am with Source. You're tapped in, tuned in, and connected too. Start listening to that inner voice because it will never mislead you and it will never, ever misguide you. When you release something, do you know you open up yourself to rewards? Let me read what release means in this book. I think it's worth going there for you. I normally don't do this, but every time I do it, I always glean something very powerful. Let it go. It is time to release anything that does not serve you. Old negative habits do not engage you anymore, as they pay off is not enough. You are ready to make room for bigger, brighter, and more aligned things. There is a payoff if we decide to finally release something we no longer need. The payoff is as individual as you are, but there will be a universal feeling of making space for something new. You have to let go. You have to let go and you have to release, because that is the only way that you're going to have something new come in. By releasing and letting go, you're going in the natural ebb and flow of life, which means that you are in a vibrational match and frequency for what it is that God is wanting to bring in. You can't have your wish fulfillment because you keep on holding on to your nightmare. I'm not saying that your divine masculine is always going to be low vibrational and not on your same frequency, but in the meantime, it's not your problem. Where he's vibrating at or where he's not vibrating at, it's time for you to be self-concerned, because divine masculine is not thinking about you at this moment. He's thinking about his damn self. So now it's time for you to be just as much selfish as he is and start thinking about your same self. He's mirroring back to you what you need to do. So if you're looking for that message, here's your memo. Start pouring back into yourself and loving yourself and see how things turn around for you. I have now come to the conclusion of your reading. That was a very heavy reading. I delivered it the way the source gave it to me to deliver to you. A lot of you needed to hear it the way that it was delivered. I could not sugarcoat this, because you can get ill if you continue to carry on the energy of the other party who is a stalemate and not showing up to help you carry the weight. Real men carry their weight. Your divine masculine is not being a real man right now. And so therefore, you have to be the woman that you are, and you have to shine your light, and you have to stay on your throne and don't get off, because guess what? When a king is not there sitting on his throne, the king get replaced with another king. And that may be what some of you may have to do. But guess what? At the end of the day, I'm not the one that call the shots. Source energy is. In the meantime, in between time, take care of yourself. Don't worry about when you're going to get this union or if there's going to be a union at all. Just know that at the end of the day, have faith that whatever is meant for you is yours. It is a good karma to like, share, comment, subscribe. Leave a love donation if you feel inclined to. You can leave or purchase a gift from Amazon and it will appear on the channel. Also, I want to let you know, you guys, I am not going to do an extended. I'm going to do a one question answer. That will work best for me throughout the day for today, because Fridays are my most busiest days. Okay. All right. I love you guys. I wrap you in my love and I cloak you with the light of Christ consciousness. And so it is, everyone. Namaste. Shall be well.